screen now. You can minimize this window. Yes. So okay. Can you please? Can you give me the control? All right. So let's see what you have done in the code. Okay, so you made a paragraph inside which you have this heading, and then you have another subheading. All right. Um, so first of what we have in the screenshot that I shared of the page that we have to build is that the whole thing needs to be aligned into the center, right? And for that we have an attribute called align. So inside body we want everything in the body to be aligned in center, right? So Ramchandra, we have to give an attribute which is a key value pair. That means align is the key and the center is the value of this attribute of this key, right? And if we save this and see, it will come in the center, right? Okay. So and uh, then Ramchandra ji, we have to just go as per the flow of the design. Like we start from the top and then we you know uh, keep coming downwards and making the elements which come along the way. So you have done the thing correctly thus far, and then there was an image, right? So here we will make an image element, and inside it we will, as I told you, for an image element to work, we must have the address of the image inside this image element, this tag, right? Which is stored in src, which means source of the image, and this is also an attribute. So whatever we write inside the an HTML tag is an attribute, right? It's a key value pair. So src is the key, and the value will be the address of the image that we want to show. So can you please paste the address of the image here, which I shared, which is available in the blog that I shared.
Actually, I use the
Yes.
chapter. I download another image.
Uh-huh.
Also, is it visible?
Yes, yes. So you downloaded it and you want to add this image
Yes.
to your page, right? So for that we will have to give its local address to the SRC. But for now, we will just paste the address from the internet because that's the different thing. Giving a local address requires some knowledge as to how to access the files in the computer. What is the schema? What how we can guess the what the address of the file is. So for now, what we can do is uh, just paste that online link. But for now, if we can't get it, let's just leave it right like that. And then there was a horizontal line, right, which comes by giving this HR tag. And if we save it and we go and check our web page, Ramchandra, can you please open the right? Yes. Okay, if we refresh it, there comes the HR tag. So I hope it makes sense now, and you can carry on with that. And further downwards, there were some input elements, input tags. For that, what we have to do is So we use input elements inside the form element. So inside it, we write input. Input doesn't have a closing tag, so it has this type attribute. So we have to make text type of inputs, right? So we give it a type text. We give it a placeholder, which is nothing but kind of a watermark uh, inside the element. So the placeholder will be like give your name, and if we save it, so that's how you work with this input thing. Oh, didn't I save it? Yeah, can you see it now? So that's how we will you will make some other inputs also right there. And if you give the type's value as submit, it will make the button which is there. If you make the type to be a file, like instead of submit in text you write file, it will give you this file type of input which the user can click on and can access the files on their computer, right? So if I refresh, so this will come like that. So I hope Ramchandar you can carry on with that. Yes. So that's how you will do it, and just try to insert a picture and make these inputs in the sequence that the assignment requires it to be um, in. So now, Erasto, as you were saying, you also have some issues with that. Can you please discuss them
Sure, sure.
and
Uh,
share your screen, please?
okay. So this is the big code I wrote, and
Uh-huh.
this is
Oh,
the
nice.
I
Hmm.
messed around with the image and created a new
Yes.
one.
Ah, all right. Yes, that's good. Hmm.
Okay. Going back to the code, I didn't know that we can have a align code here itself. So instead, I
Yes.
wrote
Yes.
center align
Yeah.
for every thing.
Oh, so you did the CSS thing. So what
Uh,
you have done is
okay.
this is CSS, the style attribute which we
Oh.
discussed. So
Uh-huh.
Ramchandar and Maheshwari ji, so in case you don't know about this,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't have to worry about this. We will cover it today itself. Like
Okay.
yes, I'll explain CSS. So that's great. But just
Mhm.
for the sake of not repeating this center thing again and again, we can give it right on the body itself.
Okay. Fine. Fine. Okay.
Yes. And in the body, what we did is
Mm-hmm.
not CSS.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
I did is not CSS. That's HTML, and
Okay.
that's an attribute. And
Mm-hmm. Okay.
inside this, inside your screen, your code, style
Mm-hmm.
is equal to text align, and then you see the colon,
Yeah.
and then the property value center, and then semicolon. So this is inside the double quotes. What you are able to see inside the double quotes after style is the
Okay.
CSS.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
will take care of it.
Sure.
And it's a good thing that you figured this out on your own. And nice. All right. So, any what issue are you facing? Can you show me your
Yeah.
web page? Yeah.
Oh,
So,
and I also tried to center align this one. It's not aligned properly, so I couldn't get this
yeah.
done.
Yes. That's the thing with this, because in every input above it, we are
Okay.
just uh, we're not giving some extra text like upload documents.
Okay.
Yes. So either we can give a line break between
Mm-hmm.
this uh, upload documents and choose file, so
Okay.
that will make them up and down. and one below the other. So
Okay.
maybe that will align it the right way. Also, what I can say is that this. Why do you want to join the academy? Can you
Mm-hmm.
can
Yeah.
you click on it and type something? Okay, okay. Please keep on typing until you go out of the borders. Um,
Okay.
hmm. So this is supposed to be like, why do you want to join the academy? So the user is supposed to write something long,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so if the user wants to write something long, we the user should have the flexibility of making paragraphs or
Yeah.
doing like multiple lines, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what you have done is you have increased the size of the input element, right? You
Okay.
you you increase the height and width of the input element, right?
Yes. Yes.
But
Yeah.
as I discussed yesterday, can you please give me the control of the
Uh,
screen?
uh,
Uh, yeah.
yes.
Okay. So where is this? Yeah. Why do you want to? So instead of input, I think Maheshwari has done it right.
Okay.
Instead of input, no, it's right. Like you know the concept, so I won't say it's wrong in your case.
Okay.
But a better way to do it is
Mm-hmm.
to use. Oh, okay. I think you'll have to do it for me, please.
Okay.
I'm
Sure.
unable to change it. So,
No.
so please change input to text area. TEXTARE. Don't give this space between them.
Okay.
It's single name of the element. Text area. No,
Oh, sorry.
don't give space between text and area. Yes, and type text. All right. And can you please save it
Sure.
and please have a look at in the browser. Can you
I'm not able to refresh.
have you saved the changes?
No, I'm not able to refresh. I'm not able to click this. Um,
Oh, wait. So I think that there's some problem with yes. Can you do it now?
yeah. Yeah. Now I'm able to. Hold on.
Now this. Oh, wait. What? So
Uh-huh.
I think yeah. So I think text area has a closing tag.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
Oh,
needs to
okay.
add that one.
Yes. So before this paragraph ending tag.
Okay.
No, no, no.
Mm-hmm.
The the okay. One thing is there.
Mm-hmm.
The element which starts later ends first, right? So when there is a p above text area,
Yeah.
and text area is started after p, so it will end before p, right?
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
yes, so you have to give it this text area slash text area. Uh, Ramchandra ji, I hope you're getting it and you'll try to you know do this way. Okay, so if you write, just keep, okay, wait. So the thing is that the cursor is not coming at the front at the
Yeah.
start. So can you please go on the code again? Let's just please remove the size attribute. Maybe
Sure.
that's not a thing for text area. Maybe it's input specific.
Yeah.
And please
Right.
save it and yes. All right. I think you have to remove
Titles.
the text align center. No. Leave it
Okay.
like that. The in the paragraph. Maybe
Okay.
you don't need to give a paragraph to it. Don't wrap it inside a paragraph. Just remove the whole P and the ending, the closing P.
Sure.
If you want to wrap something like that, please use division instead of paragraph. Uh,
Sure. Okay.
so yes. Oh man. Okay. Can you please click on it?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's again coming like that. Hmm. That's thing. Okay, just make it center aligned in the body,
Okay.
and till then I have a look at.
Uh,
Next,
align.
yes, ALIGN is equal to center.
I think in text area open one, he written type is equal to text. I think we need to add file.
In text area, I think it doesn't require type, I guess. Let me
Okay.
see. Yeah. So text area.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I think it doesn't require the type. Can
Ah,
you
yes, text area
yes,
doesn't require any type. Yes, is
yes,
correct.
yes, yes, yes. Uh, let's try that. Placeholder rows. There is an attribute called rows in text area. So instead of specifying the height,
Okay.
uh, just remove the style attribute,
Okay.
and there is a row attribute. Just type in ROW rows. It's rows. ROWS is equal to, yeah. uh,
Where to type, Nilesh?
Yeah, it's an attribute of text area. So this red colored,
Yeah.
in the 33rd line, just please remove it. All, yes.
The whole thing should be removed.
Yes, yes, because an attribute is a key value pair. So is equal to text. Before it was like what you deleted, which was written before it was the
Mm-hmm.
type. Type is equal to text. So
Oh,
type has no meaning without the its value inside the double quotes, which was text,
mhm.
which you were seeing in red, and this double quoted value text has
Mhm.
no meaning without that type text, right?
Okay.
So it's collectively a key value pair. Like you can see, placeholder is the key, and it
Mhm.
equates itself to this why do you want to join the academy string,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So they mutually make sense. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to write single of them. One of them. So text area, please write ROWS rows is equal to give it like six in the double quotes, and give a space after that. Yes. So save it. It will.
Mhm.
So, Nilesh,
Yeah.
there is no need to write the placeholder.
Yeah. Okay. We can give it. Can we give value to it instead of placeholder?
Okay.
Like we want to show something inside it, and actually what I did
Mhm.
uh, is working absolutely fine on my screen. Let me show my screen, and I am unable to figure out what's wrong with your version of it.
Mhm.
uh, all right, just a second. Can you see my screen now?
Uh, Not yet, Nilesh. Yeah, we can see.
So I used it like text area, rows
Mhm.
5, type text, and maybe it doesn't require it, but still it's giving me no errors.
Mhm.
Name, this is a thing which we use when we integrate this thing with JavaScript, so you
Mhm.
don't have to worry about it now. And I don't think this is the problem. This is the solution to the problem that we are facing in your version. But then I gave this placeholder,
Mhm.
and then I close this text area, and what I can see on my screen is, hmm, let me just copy the, all right. So it's working like that, you
Okay.
know. Yeah, placeholder is working fine. So I
Mhm.
think there is some, like, can you please share your screen again?
Yeah.
And Maheshwari, can you figure out what's the difference between what Irasto is writing and typing and what you have coded?
In text area, are you asking?
Yes, yes.
in text area, what I did, that inside the like opening tag, I have written rows is equal to 5 and then columns is equal to 50.
Uh-huh.
And then in between closing tag and then ending tag, in between starting tag and then closing tag, I have written the text.
So you have written the value of it, kind of
Not, I
like.
didn't give any value.
Oh, all right. I
Yeah,
got it.
in
Hmm.
between the tags, I've written text.
Okay, just a second. Erasto, can you please scroll up to the top? Yeah, yeah. Look, your doc type is this, the first line.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not how we write doc type, and so this is actually incomplete. So after type, give a
Okay.
space and write HTML in
Okay.
small and save it and scroll
Okay.
down, please.
Okay.
Um, just change this text to placeholder. In 33rd line, the text to placeholder, and save it, uh, and refresh the page.
Okay. Mhm.
The, were you able to refresh the page?
Yes, Neeraj, but still it's.
Did oh, and did you save the code?
Yeah, yeah, I saved it.
Okay, look, I'm giving you this
Mhm.
code and I'm pasting it in the chat.
Okay.
Please replace your code with this one and see
Okay.
if that works, and we'll see
I think
what was the
Neelish,
problem.
code alignment is not in a proper way. Code
In
alignment,
the
see, unlike tags, like I don't know how it called, like tags like HTML to HTML, body to
Oh, okay.
body,
The
alignment,
alignment of
code
the
alignment.
text.
Yeah,
No, it doesn't
it
matter
doesn't
actually.
matter.
Yes,
Okay.
no, it doesn't matter. It matters only to make the code look cleaner and more understandable. But what problem we are facing right now is not related with this thing. Uh, as I told you, like spaces in the code are not considered as spaces in the text inside the browser. Right. Line breaks in the code are not treated as line breaks in the web browser. Do you remember? I just Erastus, please copy all of this code, like from
Okay.
top to bottom, and paste it uh, there. You can comment out your code if you want. Like to
The
do it,
full.
yes. Put two dashes between L and this triangular at the end. In HTML closing tag,
Oh,
put
okay.
two dash between L and the greater than sign.
Okay.
Between L and greater than sign,
Mhm.
and scroll to the top, please. Scroll to the top. No, you
Okay.
don't have to select it. So give an exclamation and double dash between in the second line between the less than and H.
Okay.
Between less than and H.
Okay.
Less than
Exclamation and double dash.
and
Yeah.
double dash, yes.
Okay.
So it commented out this whole thing. So that's the way to do it.
Mhm.
And you can paste your code in the yes here.
Okay.
And you can remove this doc type HTML at the uh, maybe, yeah, this one. Yeah, either of them. Save
Okay.
it and please.
Yeah.
Okay, look. So I
Mhm.
am actually unable to figure out what was the thing, and maybe that's. Can you please go on your code?
Yeah.
I think this is because you have used several other,
Yeah.
techniques to align the things.
Mhm.
So what it is doing is, it is actually aligning the value which we are typing inside the text area to
Okay.
some extent. So it is actually aligning it to the center. We are able to type from the center of it, right?
Okay.
There
Yeah.
was that problem. Um, and yeah, that was actually it. And to have a look at it.
Mhm.
Let me just. So now we think it is working, and you can revert back to your actual code if you want.
Oh, sure.
Just do Control Z.
Okay. I'll fix it
And
tomorrow, English. I'll see
ah,
what's wrong and then fix it.
all right, all right, all right. And you can send this code to me so that I can have a look and
Sure.
see what's happening. Because if I had written this code, it would have been easier for me to get the
Mm.
problem right away.
Sure.
So that's for sure that it's something related to the styling,
Okay.
which you have coded there.
Mhm. Sure.
Okay, so let's talk about a few other elements,
Mm.
and then we'll talk
Nilesh,
about CS.
I'm having some
Yes,
doubts.
yes, for sure. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't ask you about it. Yes, please share your
Yeah,
doubts.
I'll share my screen now.
Yes.
Yeah, Nilesh, can you
Yes, yes,
see what
yes. I can see your
here?
screen.
Yeah, I have written this one. What I did actually, I didn't align property. Align property actually, I keep it in like like
Every.
H1, like everywhere, because I
Yeah.
don't know. I can keep it in body.
Yes. Now you
And
can. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
yeah, and then actually yesterday I struggled with this one, this image, how to keep this in center, because wherever actually I have seen they telling like using CSS only, because you said don't use CSS, use
So.
HTML only. So
Uh-huh.
what I found here, actually they are using center element, because that, but that is an old method they are saying.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And again
Mm-hmm.
another method, they what they are telling like use align attribute in the image element,
Yes.
but I used that one but it didn't work out.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so I tried this one, center element, like form also.
Mm.
When I form also, if I want to come the form in the middle, I use center. So when I Google it, and what they are trying to say, this form or image, keep it inside the div element, and then there you have to keep this text align center, and then wrap it with that one, and then they are telling use style comment, because I didn't use, because you said like don't you use CSS.
Style attribute. Yes.
Yes,
Now
style attribute.
you don't have to use it for now. You, like we will discuss it now, and later on you can use it. But a better way to align the things in the center or the right or the left is to use the align attribute. And also, align only works on containers, right? H1 is a container inside which there is this ABC Football Academy is written, right? H2 is a container inside which this gift you child, because it is opening and closing, right?
Yes.
Image is just an element without a closing tag. There is nothing in between it. It's just the image is itself the image. It is not inside a container, right?
Yeah.
So we actually, when we give align is equal to center to an element, everything inside that element will be center aligned. But image is not inside some element. So that's why if you give align is equal to center to the image, it won't be aligned into the center of the screen, right? Because it's just a single, uh, you know, um, tagged element in which let me put it in a better way. So it's an inline tag, inline element.
Okay.
So most of the times inline elements don't support this align is equal to center because they are not containers. They are not block elements which have their which access the whole screen width. Yesterday we saw that block elements get all of the width of the screen. Only block elements. Inline elements don't get the full width of the screen. Do you understand? So
Okay.
if when the block element can access the full width of the screen and it takes full width of the screen, it can align itself to the center of the screen. But if the image, which is an inline element, if it does not have the access to the full width, how can it align itself to the center of the
Okay.
screen?
Okay. So that always we keep the image element inside the div or something block element.
No, no, we don't actually have to. Uh, uh, we just give. Yes, we can do it. What you said. We give this align is equal to center to its parent element. Parent, you understand parent element like the container of this image
So
element.
here, who is the parent element means here is the
Yes.
body.
Body is the parent of H1. Like in the first lecture, the very initial one
Yeah.
we discussed the hierarchy, which is like HTML is the parent of every other tag inside it.
Okay.
Like HTML is the parent of head and HTML is the parent of body. HTML is the grandparent of title, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In the fourth line, you see title. So HTML is the grandparent of title, and title is the grandchild of HTML. Similarly, H1 is the grandchild of HTML. This
Okay.
initial H1. And if we see further, image is the grandchild of HTML because the parent of an image is center, parent of center is body. So body will be the grandparent of image, and the parent of body is HTML, which will be the grandparent of image. Do you understand?
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's how
And then one
hierarchy.
more thing. Actually, I use H2 tag for this fill up the forms. Is that correct only?
Uh, well, uh,
13th line. 13th line.
H2. All right. Well, yeah, we just use anything, whatever we like. It's all about our own creativity, how we want it to look. I just made the basic, flow, and it's on you
Okay.
how bigger you want it to look and how smaller you want it to be. So according to that, if you give a bigger number in place of two in H2, it will keep on getting smaller, right? So the H1 is the
Yeah, yeah.
biggest heading. Like the first
So
heading,
whatever, if you want
yeah.
any, if you want like H3 or H4, uh, like, like us, we can keep it, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah,
Oh,
you can keep it. It's there's nothing wrong.
okay.
Also, as long as the code works and it gives us the expected result, every code, no code is can't be said wrong, right? Every
Okay.
code is correct as long as it works. But there is always a better way to do it. That's
Oh,
the thing.
because I don't know because how the coding standards for this HTML, so that
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
asking.
No, as long as you are able to get on the screen what you want, it doesn't
Okay.
matter what you type. Either you use style that which illustrated. That's absolutely correct, and that's fine. As long as you are able to get the results on the screen, it's perfectly. I won't say perfectly, but it's fine. There's nothing wrong between in that, right? But the thing is that there is always a better way to do it, and so with experience that we will in writing a better version of the code that we wrote earlier. But there's
Okay.
nothing wrong, so don't worry about it. Use any element you want,
Okay.
just get the right result on the screen what we want to show on the screen.
Okay.
That's our main motto, yes. So no
Okay.
one's gonna look into your code. The user is not gonna look into, but it's just that we try to write simpler code for the sake of the better understanding of the person who will see our code later in the future, the other programmers. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So I guess any other doubt, Aishwarya?
No, 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 no.
Okay. So, Erasto, have you, looked into CSS syntax and all these things, or you just copied and pasted the style
Uh,
attribute?
I was trying to understand and then didn't
Uh,
copy it, but still I was typing it manually.
okay. So,
Uh,
so I guess it will be easier for you to get hold of what I'm going to explain now. Okay. Are you guys able to see? No. Okay. Let me share my screen
okay.
and let's see. So as we know, CSS is all about styling the HTML, styling what we see on the screen, giving colors, borders, giving margins and paddings. So that's what CSS is, and let's see the syntax of CSS, how we write CSS. So CSS can be written in two ways. It can be written inside HTML, like what Eraster did, like style tags, right? Style attributes. I'm sorry, style attributes. We write CSS inside these double quotes. So CSS is the value of this style attribute. Style, this attribute is a key value pair. Every attribute is a key value pair, right? Okay.
Yes.
This is the key and this is the value. This is the key and this is the value. Here and here, style is the key and the value will be the CSS. And let's see, let me just remove everything inside the body tag, and let me write a simple division. So division is the most basic element in HTML. It doesn't has margin, it doesn't have the padding. We'll see what margin padding means. So like so this is a division, and if I go on screen I'll be able to see nothing because there is nothing right inside it. So let me write something, type, or let me give it. Okay, so if I go on screen and see, it will just show me hello world, and copy the path. So now what we want to do is we want to make, let's just first align it to the center, everything in the body, uh, and let's give a border to it. And before that, let's just bring it. Okay, let's just keep it at the top. And so, okay, HTML cannot give borders to the elements, right? HTML cannot give, the control padding and margins. Margin means, I'll tell you. First, I'll give you a border, right? To give border, we use CSS, and inside style attribute, we will write CSS. And there are properties inside CSS. So border will be a property. And again, the properties will be key value pairs. We write border, then we put a colon, and then we write its value. How? So the value of the border, uh, it takes three things. What should be the width of the border? Let's say
Yeah.
2 pixels. The another one, we separate the values of this border with a space if there are more than one. So uh, border keeps three these properties of border, which are, first one, this has to be in the same order always. First one is the size of the border, I mean width of the border, how much should be the width of it. The second one is the style. So the style is of three types. Style of the border, like it may be solid, it may be inline, and it may be, no, I mean inset. I'm sorry, it may be inset, outset, and solid. So let's first see what solid looks like. Solid, and the third one is the color of the border. So let's make it purple. And if I save it, we'll be able to see. Okay, so division is a block element and it takes the full width of the screen. This is clear by having a look at the border. So you can see it is taking the full width of the screen, right?
Yes.
So, and if I replace this division with a span, span, is an inline element, right? It doesn't take the full width of the screen. So the border, are you able to spot the difference?
Yeah.
So the span is just inside this border, and the span doesn't take the full width of the screen. It only takes the required width, whatever is written inside it. So let's keep it a span, right? So, for now, and let's save this, and you can see the border. If we want to increase the width of the border, we increase it by saying 5 pixel, uh, and refresh it, it gets bigger. This is the width of the screen if you are able to spot the difference. uh, then we come to the style of the border, how it should look like. So if we say inset, uh, and refresh it, are you able to see the difference? Maybe I should change the color so that it is like let's say silver, and let me make it solid again. Okay, it is solid styling, and which means it's just plain color on the all four sides, right? And if I say inset, it will give it a nice texture of uh, nice feel that there is some shadow on two of the edges. Do you understand?
Yes.
Can you spot the difference? And if I say, okay, so now the shadow kind of thing is coming on these top and left uh, sides. If I say outset, it will just reverse these things. Not reverse, I mean, it will just make the bottom and right to be the shadow part. So these are the three types of borders: inset, outset, and solid. And so this is the thing. And to give another property, so border property, we just had a look at the border property. So, and we can give various properties to the element, the span element, by using CSS. And to give another property, we first have to uh, give it a sign that this property ends here. So for that we write a semicolon, and then we write the next property. You can give a space, or you may choose not to give a space. So let's do border radius. Border, when there are properties of more than one word, we always put a dash between them in CSS, right? So border radius. Uh, so what do you think border radius it's what do you think the property border radius has as its value? I think it's just one number, right? It's the radius. It doesn't require these three things. Like, what should be the color of the border?
Hello, Nilesh.
Give it. Hello. Just hello.
Hi, Nilesh. Sorry, you were breaking.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Now we can hear you.
Okay. All right. So I gave border radius to be 10 pixels, and let me make it 20 pixels. So what it will do is it will uh, make changes at the corner of the borders, like that. Do you understand? Like every
Yes.
corner would be having a radius. So this is the border radius property, which only requires this one thing. Thus, what is the magnitude? 20 pixels. If I do it, let me just do something like that. I just write D inside it, and let me do it like 50%. Save it. It will make it a circle kind of thing. Like the border radius, if I make 50%, so you can play around it and you can see what changes it makes, right? Let's see what it does when we write hello world. So these kind of things, if we write 100%, so you can do it when you try to do it. So 100% doesn't, it actually reverses back. So it's not making any difference. 50 and 100% are coming out to be the same kind of thing. So So that's what that's what the we have the precise control over what we want to show on the screen. That's what CSS does. Let's make it 20 pixels. We can also, there is a color property. So this color property doesn't mean that it will change the color of the border or the element. This color property inside CSS means it will change the color of the text inside this element, right? So if I give this the value of red and end it with a semicolon and save it, can you see it has become red? So this is the color property. There is a background color, so that's what will change the background of the whole span. So background, because uh, it is not a single word property, it has two words, background and color. We will give this dash between them, and the spelling of color is not COLOUR as it would be in British English. It's COLOR. It's the American the spelling. So always remember COLOR.
Okay.
COLOR, color. So background color, let's give it something like black and save it, and it would look something like this. Also, you see there is not much space between the text, the content and the border.
Yeah.
It's actually at some places it's coming over it. So what we can do is there is, okay, let me first talk about box model of CSS. CSS box model. So in every HTML element, in HTML, every HTML element is comprised of these four parts: content, which is in our case, which is hello world, right? The this span element has content, has hello world as its content, right? Whatever is it inside it. So this is the content. Padding is the you know the space between border and content, which is, I think, which is non-existent in our case. The border and the content are just separated by, I think, just 1 pixel maybe. We
Mm.
don't have much. So padding is uh, the space between content and border, and after border there is margin, right? So like after border, uh, yeah, as it suggests, as the this diagram suggests. So what we are going to do in CSS, we are giving it a padding. Now let me just separate these things like which are more easy to read. So you see, giving line breaks like these doesn't make any difference. Uh, it's all the same, right? So this is the span element, which, oh, I didn't close this element. This didn't give us an error, but it's always recommended to go as per the standards. So we always have to close the span because it can give unexpected errors, and we might have hard time, working on that. So this is the span element which closes right here, and this first tag of the span element, the opening tag, starts here and ends here, as you can see. And inside it there is this style attribute which is equal to this thing. And what this thing is, this is the CSS, which is enclosed inside these double quotes. So I hope this is making as much sense as it was making before when it was all in the same line.
Yes.
Okay. So let's give it another property which is called padding, and we don't write anything in capital letter. Everything is in small case. Let's give a padding. Padding is just we just give this the amount of
Space.
distance. Yes, the magnitude. So let's say we make it 10 pixels on all four sides. So it will give 10 pixels between content and the border on all four sides. And let me just refresh the it. So can you see it? It actually went upward and crossed the top uh, border of the body. So let me give it some PR line break so that it comes downward. Can you see now? Like the padding, uh, it increased the padding. The padding is the space between the content and the border. This is very important concept in CSS, and this will, if you will dive deeper into making UIs with HTML and CSS, this things comes in handy, very handy. Um, Very important thing to grasp. So this is the padding, the distance between the content and border. And what margin means is that, let me just copy this button. It's kind of a button that we are making, and let me just paste it here. So it won't come in a new line because these are inline elements. Span is an inline element, and this again I pasted it, so it will replicate the same design without giving it a line break, right? So let's let me refresh it. So what it does, it made two spans right next to each other. So after looking at this model, what do you think we should increase? Should we increase the border? Should we increase padding? Should we increase content, or should we increase margin to, yes, to make these things apart? And yes, Mashwari, you're correct. And Irasto and Ramchandraji, are you getting why we need to increase margin
Yeah,
to
yeah,
make
yeah.
these things apart? Yes. So if I give it another property which is margin, let's say 10 pixels again, and I save it. So the first one, so let's say hello world 1 and hello world 2. So the hello world 1 will have a margin. That means in 10 pixel width of its space around its border, there will be no element. It's margin, like the space, like, let me show you on the screen, and if I refresh it, like till here, and like this space, maybe it's 10 pixels, there will be no mm, element. So that's why in the right side, it there is a space of 10 pixels. It increased its margin to 10 pixels. So and if I write the same thing, for the hello world 2, what do you think? Will the distance increase between them, or will it decrease?
I think nothing will change.
Okay. Rasto, what do you think?
I thought it would increase.
Okay, and Ramchandraji, what do you think? Hello? Ramchandra, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I am hearing.
What do you think? Like, let me repeat. Uh, I gave this 10 pixel margin to this first one, and it separated these two things by 10 pixels because their 10 pixel width across, like around the border of the hello world 1 will be now its property, like its area. And now I gave the same thing to hello world 2. So what do you think? Will the distance increase or decrease between them?
Increases, increases.
Okay. Yes. Uh, Irasto and uh, uh, Ramchandraji are right. Okay, Maheshwari, let's see. So
I think
what?
actually is everything done with left to right, so that I
Oh,
thought.
no, no, no. All right, I understand. So what it does is it doesn't actually just increase the margin to the left or right. It actually also increases top and bottom. Let me show you. So
Okay.
let me just, yes. all the four sides, like padding. Can you, like, you can see right here, it's on the all the four sides. Padding, if you increase padding, it increases on the top, increases on the right, also on the bottom, also on the sides, like sides and the top and bottom.
Yeah.
Margin
Now
is
I can
also on the,
understand.
yes.
Yes.
So also let's give a line break and remove the margins. So I remove the margins and I gave a line break, and let me refresh the page. So, oh man, so okay, they are all writing each other, and this is because we gave paddings and all the things. If I remove the style, right? If I remove this, oh man, just a second. If I remove the styles, what it does, it they won't override each other, they will
Okay.
come. Yeah. But we have given them some, cosmetics, what should we call it, the styling. Yes, the styling and some other properties like border, and we increased their width so much so that it actually overrided. So if I give the thing, the style to the second one, and if I refresh it, like hello world will be on the same spot. The thing that we gave to it will acquire space around it, and it will of course, hide the hello world one. And if I give the same thing to the first one, we will be able to see its thing, right? So we want to separate these things. So what we can do is, let's increase margin of the first one. Let's increase the margin to say 40 pixels. Hmm. It's not it's not making a difference. Let's do the same for the next one. It's not showing anything. And let me just remove the styling, and then let's see. Rather than that, what we can do is, let's give another span here. Okay, so it is actually doing the things horizontally, but we are not able to see it vertically. But it is actually happening vertically, which I can prove by increasing the padding. Let's increase, let's remove this one, and let me increase the padding. Let's make padding to be 100 pixels. You will be able to see just one button now. So what you saw is, um, saw is this button. So it increased 100 pixels in upper area, 100 pixels in the horizontal ways, and in the bottom also. So this is actually working in all the four directions, and that's the same thing for margin. And the reason why we are not able to see the margin is, let me code something, and then we will be able to distinguish between that. Okay, so I'm using this slash, which is not necessary in the BR tag. This is actually a thing. When we'll use React.js, we will see what that means, but now just keep it like that. So margin, we'll give it another span. Because it has 40 pixels of margin, let's reduce this. So first let's clear that thing. Like if I give just margin to just the upper one, there will be 40 pixels of difference, right? This is the 40 pixels of difference, and this area is of hello world 1, right? Because we have given margin to hello world 1. And if I give margin to the next one, let's say control V, and I give it some 20 pixels, then and I refresh it, then what it did it, like this is 60 pixels of distance, and in this 60 pixel of distance 40 pixels are of hello world 1 around it, right? And the rest of 20 pixels is of hello world 2, because we gave hello world 2 the margin of 20 pixels, and we gave hello world 1 the margin of 40 pixels. So
Okay.
so now this is total 60 pixels of
60.
distance. Yes, and in that 60 pixels 40 pixel is of hello world 1
Yes.
around it, and the
20.
30, yeah, 20
20.
pixel, yeah, 20 pixels is of hello world 2.
Two.
If I refresh it and I didn't save it, so that's how margin works. And it actually is doing in on all the four sides. Let
Okay.
me, yeah. And if you want to increase just on the single side, there are things like padding right, padding top. So if we don't want padding to be on the all four sides, since like padding is the distance between content and the border, if you don't want it to be on all four sides, we can just give padding top, and you'll see what's the difference, what the difference it makes. If I give padding top 30 pixels, it will just keep the padding top 30 pixels. It will
Oh,
make padding at the bottom right and left to be 0, right? And if I want to increase or may want to give padding bottom also, I will have to write it again, padding bottom.
so if it is not equal four sides, so then we can specify the values.
Yes, if we, yes, exactly. So if you want it to be a horizontally long button, then so we can give padding top bottom to be 30 pixels, and let's say padding left and right will be made 60 pixels. So it will be a horizontally long. So that's how we play around these properties to make something look like whatever you want it to be. So that's how we do it. Do you get it? Like it this is 60 pixels and this is 30 pixels. Top
Okay.
and bottom padding are 30 pixels and this is 60 pixels. Okay, so this is CSS, and there are several other properties which, like today, the main thing was to discuss the previous project and to clear doubts.
Yes.
And I
Nilesh,
think,
one doubt.
yes, yes, yes,
Uh, Actually, I got it like how to do this horizontally, and what
yes,
you told me
yes,
this
oh, yes.
vertically,
Mhm.
I didn't get that one
Yes,
exactly.
yes. Let me tell you that again. Not again. I actually forgot that. Hmm. So let me reduce it. Let me take another example. Uh, let's keep the same example. Padding margin. So span. Let's try this with division, and I'll do it with span again. Let me see. I'm just trying to see why it didn't work the way I wanted it to. Um, look. So this is the division, and let's take single division for now, and let me refresh it. So there is this division, right? Let's remove the mark inside it, save it. Okay, so this is basic division. It doesn't has a specified margin or padding or anything else, which we can see by giving it border 10 pixel. All right, just make it 1 pixel. And if we like keep it solid, and let's give it a black color. Um, So it is actually taking all the width. So that's why it's coming across the screen. I hope you understand this
Yes,
thing.
yes. Div
Yes,
because of the development.
because yeah, because it's a block element.
Yeah.
So if we make another division after it, we don't have to give it a line break because it will already come in the next line. So it comes right next to it. You can't actually distinguish between the bottom border and the upper border
Mm,
of these.
can give break.
Yeah. Now, what we won't give break here. We will give margin.
Oh, okay.
All right. So let's give a margin of 40 pixels. Let's say 20 pixels to it, and
Mm.
it must, so the 20 pixels of width around this hello world one will be its area, right? So nothing
Yes.
can be inside 20 pixels of width around hello world one. So if I refresh it, can you see the difference?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like even in the sides, you have this 20 pixels. Even at the bottom, you have this 20 pixel. In this side,
Okay.
you have 20
All
pixel. There
four
is no,
sides
yeah, yeah, and there is nothing
up.
to compare on
Okay.
the top.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
this actually worked. And if I give an margin 20 pixels to the second one, so the distance between them right now is 20 pixels, and if I refresh the page, it will become 40
40.
pixels.
Yes.
Like, oh man, wait, just a minute. Okay, so it won't become 40 in this manner because there is already nothing between them. So the margin just says that whatever the value of the margin is in that area, there should be nothing. If there is something, just move, right? And because in 20 pixel, in this 20 pixel already there is nothing, so it didn't move downward, right? And let's if I make it 40 pixels, it will move downward. You understand now? Like when I made it 40 pixels, it saw that earlier it was 20 pixels distance between these two, and when I made the margin 40 pixels, it saw that inside 20 pix after 20 pixels there is something, and it needs to move down to make it 40 pixels to make the area clear in the width of 40 pixels around it.
Okay. You said so. Uh, Before you making 40 pixel, the
Yes.
distance gap already in between hello world 1 and hello world 2 is 20, so that we can't see any changes. If you make the 40, so that we can see the changes. That's what you are telling.
Yeah, yeah. There is an underlying concept which is margin uh, is the space around an HTML element in which there is no other element. So right now we just give margin of 20 pixels to the first one, and there is no margin on the second one, right? So
Okay.
the distance between them is 20 pixels because the margin of hello world 1 is 20 pixels. Do you get it?
Yes. Yes.
So when I give margin of 20 pixels to hello world 1, there can be nothing uh, in the area uh, of 20 pixels around hello world 1. There is nothing, right? No other
Okay.
element uh, within this vicinity of 20 pixels around hello world 1. Like there is no element in 20 pixels from here to here. There is no element from 20 pixel in these 20 pixels. There is no element in these 20 pixels as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
And if I increase it to 50 pixels, it will move down further because
Okay.
now in the 50 pixel distance from the border of hello world 1 on all the four sides, there can't be any other element. And if I make it to 100 pixels, there can't be any element in the 100 pixel width distance from the border of hello world 1. So if I refresh the page, it made it to 100 pixel on all sides. Do you understand?
Yes.
But yeah, but if I make this the margin of this to be, let's say I'm making it 20 pixels for the second one. So now when I will refresh the page, the browser will see if there is something in 20 pixel vicinity of hello world 2. If there is something, it will move away from it, and if there is nothing in the vicinity uh, uh, around hello world 2 in the distance of 20 pixels, it won't move from there because there is nothing.
Okay, okay.
So on the sides, when I refresh the page, it will see is there a space of 20 pixels between hello world 2 and any other element? No, because it's quite a smaller. Maybe it's a 5 pixel distance from the body and the hello world 2. Here, same here. So it will make 20 pixel of distance on the both of these sides, but it won't move from up to downward because it
Nothing
can't
is there.
see. Yeah, because nothing is there. The 20 pixel is already empty.
Yes, yes.
So if I refresh it, you can see this has changed on
So that
sides.
it's moving only sides only.
Yes, because the 20 pixels on in this vicinity is already empty. There is nothing in between.
Okay.
Do you understand? It's already
Yes.
100 pixels of distance and there's nothing. If I make it more than 100 pixels, if I make it 120 pixels and I save it, so after I will refresh the page, the HTML, the browser will look for 120 pixels of free space around hello world 2. But for now, this is just 100 pixels, right?
Yes.
This is just 100 pixels. But I have given it 120, and when I will refresh it to make these changes, it will see if 120 pixel is free around hello world 2 or not. If there is something inside 120 pixels of distance, it will move away to make 120 pixels of distance between that
Oh,
element and itself.
okay.
Right. So if I refresh it, it moves
Yes.
downward 20 pixels. How much it will move downward? 20 pixels, because 100 pixels was already there and its margin is 120 pixels. So there can be nothing in 120 pixels of width around its borders. That's what it did. Do you get it? Hello?
Yes.
I
Nilesh.
mean, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Have you?
I'm a bit confused, Nilesh. Okay.
Right. Yeah, I know. This box model is pretty. That's why I said this is a pretty important concept to have a grasp on. Yeah. Okay. So margin thing is giving us a problem, uh, which is a very important concept. But I hope you are okay with padding.
Yes, yes.
If I give 40 pixels of padding to the first one,
Mm,
it will
yeah.
increase the distance
It,
between the border,
content and border, all
content, and
four
border
sides.
on four sides like that.
Yeah.
Yes, but because this thing has nothing to do with padding because it's a division. So horizontally it will take the whole width, whatever is available, right?
Yes.
So it's applicable to up and upper and this bottom padding.
Okay.
Yes, and so padding is there, padding margin and border we have already discussed. So in box model, all we have is border, padding, and margin. Um, we are having, and I'll try it again within 10 minutes. I think I can give it a try again to explain it in a better way. Okay, and margin, these three things, and content. We just don't have that much control over. Yes, content is like the core CSS thing. This has nothing to do with the box model. box model only has the these three things, takes only these three things into consideration. We change the content by using the basic CSS, like changing color, size of the content. Hello world size, its size can be changed by giving font size, which is not a thing of the box model, like that, right? Font
Okay.
size is like the 40 pixel. It will increase the size inside the content. Okay, let's give margin another try. So what margin is, let's remove everything. Irasto and Ramchandraji, I'm trying to explain this again, and
Okay.
perhaps in a better way. So yes, so I removed everything, so it's a blank page now. What first of all, definition of margin is that, let me get some help from. Okay, CSS margin properties are used to create space around elements. All right, this is the basic definition which I've been telling, and outside of any defined borders, right? So you get this definition: to create space around elements outside of any defined borders, and that's what we have seen. So according to this thing, we have done the right amount of practical on it. We increase the size of the space. I mean, we increase the distance between two elements by increasing the padding. So that thing has been done by us. We did this. With CSS, you have full control over the margins. There are properties for setting margin for each side of an element. So we can, same as padding, we can do margin top, margin right, margin bottom, and left. What I was trying to explain was a more complex thing in margin.
Okay.
So I could, like, we can get away with understanding only this thing, like style is equal to margin. I'm giving it. Let's not do it here. Mm, division. I'm making another division, and I'm giving it something like A, and I'm giving it B. So what I'm doing is I'm giving, like, for now it will just come one below the other without much space between them. I'm not giving it a border for now. So A and B, if you're able to see, yeah, it's pretty okay. A and B, they come below each other. Now I'm giving margin to A, and I'm giving it, let's say, 20 pixels px, and if I refresh it, like on the four sides there is a distance of 20 pixels. So now A and B are separated by 20 pixels of difference because I gave margin to be 20 pixels on all four sides, right? So now B is separated. So now look, uh, so that's the thing. We have understood what margin is. It's the distance between the border and the next element,
Mhm.
right? If I give it a border, you will be able to spot it. Border.
Then if there is no element of B, then it won't move if you give margin also.
Yes, I think it would move. Let's see. There is no B, and we remove the margin. Let's see. Okay, so now you can see, right? But now there is no B, and if I increase the margin to be 20 pixels, it will move. That's what I predict, at least. Let's see. But what I think, because it will, have this. It, if I give 20 pixels to it, it will check. Is there something within the 20 pixel width from its border? Is there something? Yes, there is something. This body, right? This is like the everything we are writing inside the body tag, right? So this parent box you are seeing on the screen, if you can see my pointer moving on the screen, this everything denotes body element, like everything is inside body element, right? So this page, like this, if you follow my pointer, this whole thing, this whole box of the web page is body.
Okay.
And there is body within, I think this is 5 pixels of distance between body's border and a a's border, right? So when I give it 20 pixels of width, so internally how that work would be, when I refresh the page, it moved actually. And when I refresh the page, the browser will see internally, when it will see the code, that now the padding has been changed to 20 pixels by the programmer, right? So how to show that on the screen? The browser will now look, uh, will start from this border, and will see if there is something within 20 pixels of distance from the border. So earlier there was something within 20 pixels of distance from the border. It was the body, right? So it can't push the body back because that's the end of the screen. So it actually decreases its size to make this 20 pixels free of any other element. Body is also an element, right? So it makes this 20 pixels of space, and there has uh, to be no other element within 20 pixels of distance from the border of A, because the margin of A is 20 pixels, and that's what margin is. Margin is the space around an element where no other element can have its thing or space. I hope it makes sense. And if I let me it will if I make division here, so what I'm explaining right now is not of that much concern for us now, but if you are able to get this, it will be a whole lot easier for you to have a grasp and to make UIs better by using CSS, and to align the things and all these things, how to separate things. Otherwise, if you know that margin separates elements and makes uh, some distance between them, that's enough. That's what we have seen for now, and maybe we'll see the other things later. But let me just remove the marginal second one and the margin of the first one. Now you will be able to see that they are just coming one after the other. There is no distance between them after borders. And if I increase the margin of this first one, it will increase the distance between them, because the upper A has a margin of some 20 pixels, right? Which means in the distance of 20 pixels from A's border, there can't be any other element. But right now there is an element, which is the second A, right, inside the 20 pixels of distance from the border of A. So when I refresh the page, the browser will make the changes which we have done in the code, and it pushes A downwards. How much? By 20 pixels, because the upper A cannot have any other element within 20 pixels of vicinity around it.
Okay.
That's what margin is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If
Yes,
there is
and
an element around in margin, then it would
yes,
it
yeah.
push the back, it push the
Otherwise,
back,
it will
and
not.
advise it will not. Okay.
Yeah, and so now if I give a margin of 10 pixels to the second A, so when I will refresh the page, the browser will see if there is an element within 10 pixels of A. So this is already
Okay.
20 pixels. This is already
Okay.
20 pixels. There is nothing
Yeah.
within 10 pixels of the lower A, right? So when I
Yes.
refresh the page, it will only make changes on the side, because there is this body tag within 10
Okay.
pixels. And if I refresh
Okay.
this, oh man, if I refresh this, you see it didn't move downwards. It just
Yes. Yes.
changed the thing on the left, because it saw it recognized that the margin that has been given to A is 10 pixels, then it searches for any element around it within the vicinity of 10 pixels around the second A. And in the sideways, it sees that body, this border, the screen border is there within 10 pixels. So it moved itself to a distance of 10 pixels from right and from left, so that the space of 10 pixels can be empty because the margin should be empty.
Okay.
Yes, and in the upper portion, this distance. Okay, I gave it 20 pixels. So there was already a distance of 20 pixels. There was already the 20 pixels were already empty above A. So it didn't move. It didn't have to move because it the margin, what margin says is margin means empty space, and this 20 pixel was already empty. It won't make it 20 plus 20, 40,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can.
So that's what we did.
Yes. Nilesh, if you want to
Yes.
give margin only like top or bottom or left or
Yes.
right, we can do that one also.
Yes, we can do. And for that, so it's the same as padding. So I'm
Okay.
removing it, and I am refreshing it. So all right. So now we just want to give margin to the sides, right? To the upper A. So let's give margin of 30 pixels. Margin right. So if I just give margin right, you will be able to see that changes on the right. There is
No.
no checking from here. It will just see on the right if there is something within 30 pixels. It will make the space empty as much as 30 pixels. And if I do it for the left one, I can also give different values. Like I can give 10 pixels. So now you will be able to see the space of 10 pixels here and 30 pixels here. I can also give the bottom one margin bottom. So it's 30 pixels, let's say, and I save it and refresh it. This is 30 pixels now, right? So this is margin, the space around an element after its borders. That's margin, and there can't be any other element within that space. That's all. It is not used to move the element, right? It, that's a common misconception. Uh, yeah, like people think that margin is used to move the element from another element. No, it just used to make the space empty around an element, and how much space you want to make empty, whatever the yeah, amount magnitude of the length is given in the CSS. So if I have given margin right 30 pixels, it will see on the right, it will this make the space of 30 pixel distance empty on the right side, and for that it can move itself or may not move itself as per if it sees something in 30 pixels or not. And I hope it makes some sense. At least you know what margin is. Even if you don't
Yes.
understand, yes, even if you don't understand why it was not moving, uh, and why it was moving in the other case, even if that doesn't make sense, I hope Maheshwari got that. Um,
Ye-
and
Yes.
I
Yes.
hope the same for Irastra and Ramchandar. But
Yeah, got it.
that's yeah, okay. So that was it. Also, I would like to just mention just one thing. Just all right, the time is already taking faster, I guess. But um, yeah, so if you go to YouTube, have you heard about YouTube embedded videos?
Yes.
Oh, great. Have you, Maheshwari and Ramchandar?
Yes, yes.
All right. So have you used them sometime?
No. No, I've never used.
Okay. So when you click on something like anything, um, and if you, oh man, if you click on it, and no, don't right click on it. Just go on share, and you'll see this embed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Click on it, and it will give you this code.
Oh,
It, you just copy this code and
okay.
select it. Copy. Maybe just click here. Copy it. Just go to your web page code. Let me remove this thing for now, and just paste it. The whole
Mm-hmm.
code, right? And if you
Yep.
save this, and if you're connected to internet, if you
Mm-hmm.
refresh it, you will be able to see this thing on your screen.
Okay.
This, yes. So this is how you can embed YouTube videos on your um, screen on your web page. That's that easy. It's a pretty powerful feature, like that YouTube gives us.
Mm-hmm.
So what you have to do is, I have this. So you got it right. You just have to go on some video, click on share.
Yes.
There is something called embed. You can see this HTML sign, right? This tags.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Click on it. Copy this whole iframe. Iframe is an element in HTML. So this code is inside this iframe element.
Okay.
So maybe don't select it. Just copy from here or whatever, and just go on the your code and paste it and save it. You'll be able to see it on your screen. Also, uh, there is this.
Okay, how we copy the
So
path of image so that like that we are copying the path of the YouTube, that video link.
no, you just copy the whole
Okay.
element and
Okay.
then
Yeah,
paste
yeah,
it, and inside it there are so iframes are used to embed other web pages into your web page.
yeah. Okay, okay.
Iframe, yes.
Okay.
So this is YouTube's web page. Like this video is treated as another web page content. So to embed some other source of some other web page into your web page, we need use iframe. So
Okay.
that's the only thing you need to know about iframes, and just copy the. So how does it work? Let me just give you an overview of this. So iframe is the element. Its width. This is not CSS. You see, CSS syntax is like that, and this is also written inside the style. Thing. It
Yeah,
will be
yeah.
pixels. If I change it to CSS, it will be like that. Oh man, it will be like this. Right, but it's not CSS for now. So this is pure HTML, and width and height are HTML attributes. So there is not much flexibility in HTML using. So there are a few things: width, height. There is nothing much we can do. There is some attribute like BG color, which can change the color of the background. But there is nothing much. That's when we use CSS to have more functions. We can't set borders in iframe like HTML, right? We use CSS. But now this is just this HTML thing. There is HTML attributes. You see, there is an equal to sign in between them, and the value is inside the. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
Nilo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So this is the source inside which this is the video of the link. So it
Mm-hmm.
already makes it like that. If I copy and paste this source, then it will open this video, just the video. You
Yeah.
see, uh,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and and then there is this frame border 0 pixels. There's let's skip these things. We don't need those things. Allow accelerometer, autoplay. So there are a whole lot of things we can play around them. We will try to play around it when we will learn JavaScript. We can use these things, like we can make button on our screen to there can be a button right here. When we click on it, this will play, but we can just click here and it will start. But later on we'll see how we can control this by making making other controls below it. So that is a thing for JavaScript. So that's the overview of this iframe. And what I wanted to do is for tomorrow, and is that if you go on project 0, you can see this web page, and inside it you will be able to, you know, see some styling css. You see this is a h1 or h2, this heading, this is heading, and I have given some padding to it. Can you see the padding?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, there is some padding, there is a border of some silver color, but you can see some shadow kind of thing, some good, you know, there
Mhm.
is this sh shadow which is, and there is some border radius, right,
Yes.
Yeah.
on all the four sides. So
Yeah.
that, and this is this effect which you are seeing on your screens. This one, let me just show the thing on my screen. So look, so this shadow effect is a CSS property called box shadow, which is written as like, let me just show you. So if here I give style to it and I write box shadow, oh man, dash this box shadow, and if I do, if I give it the values, so it takes 5 values. The first one is the width of the shadow, the other one is how on the left, how much it should spread on the left, on the right, and like that, right, how much should be the width of the shadow, like the spread. So all these three things you can play around them, you can hit and trial. And the last one is the color of the shadow. So let's make it uh, red, and let's spread it further. uh, so if I refresh the page, can you see this shadow thing around it?
Yeah.
Yes, so
Yeah, yeah.
that's what I have done here. That's what I have done on it, on this thing. So I gave this color, the silver color. This is a box shadow thing. Okay, and also this iframe, I have given styling to this iframe. This is another assignment which you have to do, like the previous one. And Erasto, the problem that you were facing, you can just please share
Yeah.
your code to me, and I'll have a look at the text area. What was the problem? Also,
Okay.
so you have to make this kind of thing in your. So you can see this is the video, right? And there is some padding. Can you see the padding inside this?
Yes.
The and this is red color is the border of the video. There is no border radius here. So now you know how to make this one. Give some padding and give some background color. Green is this the background color of the
Yeah.
division.
Nilesh,
Yes,
how
yes.
long it will take?
Yeah, I'm just explaining these two things and we'll wrap up. So yes, and so these are two links, A tags, anchor tags. It's pretty simple. Like we use img, just use A, and instead of src, just write href and give it any link, like
Mhm.
https youtube.com or anything. So it will make this element A, and just give it some styling, border radius, the background color. If I click on this, it will take you to a next tab, uh,
Okay.
and if you click on this, it will take you to the next tab, and it will open my blog or whatever link you will give it to it. So just please try to recreate this thing, this web
Mhm.
page, and we will see. And you will have to look how we can do, how we can make it to open in the next tab. That's the homework.
Okay.
How what attribute we have to give it to open it in the next tab. Otherwise, it will just open in the same tab, right? Okay, so that's the thing. You can rewatch the video to for this problem statement that I explained. I don't think it's that much, but there's just 3 or 4. All the problem you may face is in CSS, like this
Mhm.
box shadow and all. So just give it some good research on Google, and you'll find. And otherwise, you can always ping the WhatsApp group. I'll be there to help. Okay,
Okay.
Maheshwari, Maheshwari. So the thing is that on daily basis we'll have around 1 to 1.5 hours. So that's we are actually 10 minutes above it. I'm sorry. I'll improve on that.
Sorry, because
Yes.
actually my husband is also having meeting now, so that
Oh, all right.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, I understand. Okay, thank you very much, and please do this assignment. Also, we'll be taking off as I talked to Satish. I'll be taking off one day in the working days, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. So we'll see
Okay.
as per the discussion. We'll
Okay.
discuss it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, and
Yeah.
uh, yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Nilesh. See you
Okay.
tomorrow.
Yes. See you tomorrow.
Bye all. Bye, Maheshwari.
Yeah, bye, bye everyone.